Have I overdone my oats? They look alright. Bit of pre-workout food going down. Where's my spoon? So yeah, today training, so pull day, and then I'm going for a little cheeky kickboxing session. So it's stirring me out. Done a bit of kickboxing back in the day, not for long, but yeah, just want to get back on it. You know what I mean? Not so concerned about actually getting wham these days as I get older. A bit more performance, doing things that are a bit funner. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll try and record a little bit as well. Should be fun. There you go. Don't look that pretty, but that's a bowl of goodness right there. Polish that right off, mate. So that is pull day done. First pull day of the week, and now go home, bit of work, got to respond to messages, got a busy day. And like I said, off to kickboxing, where I'm sure I'll be sweating my arse off and feeling knackered. But it's fun, something different. It's all about trying something different, isn't it? Yeah, busy day, got a few discovery calls with guys and seeing if they're a good fit, jumping on board at the TPF program, because we're very selective with who we work with. What else have I got? I've got, content to create, got to train, prep my meals. It's a busy one. But anyway, you'll probably see me next, out of breath, sweating, and hopefully not getting punched in the face. But yeah, peace. See you in a bit. Gotta get that protein in, boys and girls. Bit disappointing. The kickboxing dude cancelled my session. He said he hurt his neck. Oh well, so let's just crack on with the day, eh? What is up, everybody? Where's my pen gone? So, whoops, not a good start. In today's video, we're going to be going over, with my lovely whiteboard, a bit dirty there, how to design your own split, okay? So yeah, there's so many apps out there. Yeah, there's so many good coaches, bad coaches, for another video. But there's a lot of help you can get, so you don't have to worry about this stuff. But at the same time, with all my clients here at TPF, it's really important that, yes, they get the help with their programming, but they also know exactly why and how to do things as well, because education is a massive part of it. Even if you're following a good program, even if you've got a good coach or you're on an app, you don't really want to follow it blindly. You do want to know the reasons behind specific movements, exercises, and your split as well. I think a lot of people get quite confused. They always ask me, or you always see, like, what's the best split? Well, there isn't a best split, obviously. The best split is one that you can adhere to, one that you can stick to, and most importantly, which overrides everything, one that you enjoy. Because enjoyment's everything. If you don't enjoy something, you're never going to do it, are you? So that is super important. So a few things first. I should really try and mount this to the wall anyway. First things first, you've got to think about how many days you can actually train, okay? And be real. Don't be like, yeah, I'm going to train 5 times a week. You know full well you can't, mate. Be honest with yourself. So firstly, how many times can you train, okay? So say like days in the week. Is it, I'd say, yes, you can train two times a week. If you haven't trained before, you'll get good progress doing that, okay? But if you're a bit more advanced with your training, 2 times a week, yes, I think you'll maintain and yeah, possibly gain. But I'd say 3 is your minimum there, okay? So can you train 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times? Like, this is your kind of golden area here. 6, just, it gets too much. Like, this is where you really start kind of eating into recovery. I don't think you're gonna, again, especially if you're not new to training, I don't think you're really gonna be able to train at an intense level if you're training 6 days a week. Some of the best bodybuilders and athletes don't even train that much, okay? Because it's just a bit too much on your, or too much required in terms of recovery. Yes, you can, but your numbers ain't gonna go up. You're gonna probably train still feeling a little bit sore, okay? So 3, 4, or 5 are my golden numbers there in terms of how many times you can actually train, okay? The next one we want to consider is, well, how are you going to split that up throughout the week? What muscle groups are you going to train, okay? So if we're doing 3 days a week, you could do like a full body, okay? So 3 times a week. Again, recovery might be a little bit hard there, but it's possible. You could do a upper, lower, and then a full body. That's quite nice. You could do a push-pull full body. So push, pull, and then you could do a full body as well. So there's quite a lot of options with 3. I'd say if anything, I'd say upper, lower, full body is pretty good there, okay? So that's a pretty decent split. But look, also you've got to think of specifics as well, okay? So what is it that you're actually trying to do? If you're trying to get wham legs, then, well, you might want to put a bit more legs in this, okay? Or within that week of your training. So you can get a little bit more specific to you. There is no right and wrong, really. That's what you've got to remember, okay? It's just got to be manageable. You've got to be able to stick to it to be consistent. And like I said, have fun with it. So for your 4 days a week, so you could do push, pull, legs, upper. That's a wicked split, okay? Because you can have enough rest days between that as well. So you could, and this split is really, really nice because you can do it however you want it here. There's a lot of rotation. So you could do upper, lower, rest, push, pull. You could do push, pull, rest, lower, upper. You can put in a rest day pretty much anywhere. And the only golden rule is with this split, you wouldn't want to do push, pull, and then an upper, or an upper, push, and pull, okay? Because obviously you'll be training the same muscle groups in the next day, okay? But other than that, good flexibility there, okay? You could do an upper lower split for this. So without the full days, you could do 2 uppers, 2 lower throughout the week. That's a really nice split as well. Or you could do a push, pull, and then a push, pull. So this is actually my split that I've been running, excuse me, that I've been running for quite a long time now, actually. Maybe the last 12 weeks, obviously with a few changes here. And it's really good. Okay, so yes, it's not that leg dominant. So if you really want to progress with your leg training, maybe this isn't exactly the one. But at the same time, just using my own findings of this split, I think my legs have gone up in size, and so has my upper body, because I'm not slamming one full leg day. I'm not a massive fan of leg day, just full leg day anymore. I used to be, and yes, it's great. You know, you can test the metal, best days leg day, that's the most challenging. But look, when you get to a certain age, you know, when you have a lot on, family, run a business, do you really want to be that smashed throughout the day because you've just smashed a big leg day? Okay, maybe not. All right, again, recovery, energy levels, these are all things we've got to think of to be super consistent with a split that is going to work for you. Okay, look, man, the only people that really obsess with leg days are bodybuilders, let's face it. Okay, and what I found from doing this, so on my push, I'll do a quad movement. Okay, on my pull, I'll do a couple hamstring movements, and same again. Okay, so I'm still doing legs. So I'm doing leg. So like, my writing is atrocious. So here, so on the push, I would do a quad movement. Okay, on the pull, I do a hamstring movement. The Wednesday is rest, not W, rest for rest day. So that's when I would either go for a run or go for a cycle. Okay, go for a bike ride, get on my Lycra. And then again here, so on the other push, I'll do another quad movement and I'll do another hamstring movement. So I'm still hitting my legs throughout the week, quite a lot actually. So the frequency is still there, okay? But what it does, it allows to balance out the fatigue of all of this throughout the week, rather than just having a huge leg day when you want to puke and feel like fainting at the end of the day. And as well, it allows me to cycle and it allows me to run on the Saturday or Sunday here nicely without my legs being so sore that I can't run and I can't perform in my cycle ride as well. And look, health is really important for me now, and doing things that I enjoy. I'm not so obsessed about just becoming wham and bodybuilding like I was, like, you know, in my mid kind of 20s. Okay, what I want to achieve has shifted slightly. So this split works really, really well for me. Okay, a 5-day-a-week split. So you could do push, pull, push, pull, legs, push, pull, legs, upper, and then you could do another lower as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that is a big ass split. Okay, that's a bold concept. Push, pull, legs, upper, lower. So that's a pretty good 5-day-a-week split. Look, again, these 2 leg days, can you really recover from that? Are you really going to be training enough? Some might. Look, if you're in a bulk and if you're getting enough calories in, that can be pretty good for you. Okay, so that is your typical 5-day-a-week split. Here again, it just gets too much. So if you did want to do a 6-day-a-week split, which a lot of people do, but I would kind of not disagree with it, but I would pose that they'll probably get better results on a split like this, where you can manage fatigue and you can progressively overload over time better. Why? Because recovery is better. It's everything, okay? More is not more, people. So here you could do push, pull, legs, rest, and then repeat. Push, pull, legs again. That's just so much. That is a lot, okay? So that's something to be wary of. So days covered. What you can do in those days are covered. And then in terms of actual programming and what you can do, okay? So let's just take one of these for instance. That'll probably be simpler. So which one should we take? So, well, let's just take a day. So what would you actually do in the split? Okay, so what exercises would you do and how would you perform them? Okay, well, not how would you perform them, but in what order would you have them in a program? So let's take like a push day, for instance, okay? So what's that? That's chest, that's shoulders, that's triceps, okay? In my case, quads, but we won't go into that here, okay? But technically, it's a pushing movement, okay? So push. So again, you've got to think, what are you prioritizing most? So for me, just to use that example, so on my push pull, on all 4 of these days, I actually start with arms. So on a push day, I start with triceps. On a pull day, I start with biceps on every single one of those days that I train. Why? Because I'm trying to get my arms bigger, okay? I want to prioritize my energy at the start of the session. So the triceps and the biceps aren't an afterthought towards the end of that session. When you're mashed up, you're knackered, and you just want to sod off home, okay? Last thing we'll do is just some half-assed curls. That's not going to get my arms bigger, is it? So that's something to consider. So what is the muscle group that you're trying to prioritize most? I would probably shift that to the start of your workout or start of your exercise selection anyway. So push, let's just say you want to get a big chest, most guys do. So you'll start with like a compound movement for starters. So what is the movement that's going to take the most amount of energy to do? Okay, bench press, let's say. Okay, so you'll probably start with bench. So that's your big compound movement, okay? Multi-joint movement, something that takes a little bit more effort out of you, bench press, okay? So again, smash your bench press out and then push. So again, now I would say go onto your shoulders, okay? So another shoulder kind of bigger, more compound movement. So I don't know, you could do a overhead press, okay? For your shoulder movement there, okay? So you've got chest, got shoulders, they're your big movements. And even if you're not trying to prioritize triceps or not, I would have some sort of tricep movement next, okay? So I would have something like dips. I would have like maybe a close grip bench press, something like that. Maybe, yeah. So something that takes a little bit more effort there as well, okay? Maybe some dumbbell extensions as well. So that's how it goes. So you're going chest, big compound movements, chest, shoulders, triceps, okay? And then you go on to your more isolating movements. So you go back into the chest. So what might you do next? You might do a cable fly, okay? So it's normally higher reps, isolation movements now, okay? Or you will do maybe a cable press, okay? Or a chest press machine, something like that, okay? That's a bit more focused, a bit more isolated, in the simplest terms, something you feel like you get more of a pump with, okay? And then again, you follow the same order. So then what would you do? You'll go into more of a, is it working? It's looking right, isn't it? We'll go into more of a isolating shoulder movement. So something I'll go to is like a cable lateral raise, okay? Or a dumbbell lateral raise, or a cable front raise, okay? Something that's a bit more isolating, or a cable lateral machine, okay? And again, look, you go through this same process. And then triceps again, what do you do? Maybe a dual tricep extension, okay? Maybe a double rope pull down. Done. That's a pretty good plan for a session there, okay? And again, in terms of how many movements should you do, you don't want to be doing too much because again, more is not more. It's about quality, not quantity. So there you've got 1, 2, 3, and then you've got 4, 5 or 6, okay? 5 or 6 movements there. If you're short on time as well, you could superset a few of these. So you could actually superset maybe a fly with one of your tricep movements as well. And yeah, that's a pretty decent session. Same thing will be for your pull as well. So you do compound, okay, a few compound movements and then more of an isolated movement towards the end. So that's how you would generally plan a session, in my opinion. Okay, look, there's no right and wrong, but that is a good way to do it. So yeah, that's kind of your basics of programming, how to look throughout the week, when your rest days should be, okay? Because obviously rest days are just as important. Normally when you love your training, the rest day is the hardest day of the week. But I hope that helps. If you've got any questions about generally splits, anything you're struggling with, because there's so much faff out there. There's so much fluff out there. There's so much kind of misguidance out there as well. So if you need any help, drop it on the comments. And also follow my Instagram at Toby Pink Fitness. Drop any questions on there too. But I hope this helps. Rough guideline of what your kind of split could be, depending on how many days you can train per week and how to roughly plan a session with that. So go out there, guys, smash it. Have a good one.